Knowledge is defined by the Oxford English Dictionary as expertise and skills acquired by a person through experience or education, the theoretical or practical understanding of a subject, what is known in a particular field or in total, facts and information or awareness or familiarity gained by experience or a fact or situation. Knowledge acquisition involves complex cognitive processes, perception, learning, communication, association, and reasoning. The term knowledge is also used to mean the confident understanding of a subject with the ability to use it in a specific purpose if appropriate. Acquiring knowledge and expertise are how you add to your human capital. So let's discuss the ways that you can add human capital to yourself through the acquiring of knowledge and expertise by finding what it is that you truly love to do, which can become your life's work. A life's work that you truly look forward to each day, so that you get into the position where you're not saying, well, TGIF, but rather you're saying to yourself, TGIM, thank goodness it's Monday and I can get back to what I really love doing. See, there's no reason why people in our great country, and that applies to Canada as well, of course, cannot do what they really want to do as long as it's legal, because there is so much post-secondary education out there that you can get it. Now, what is post-secondary education? Well, that's any form of formal education that you receive once you have graduated from high school. So that's junior college, specialty school, college, university, whatever it happens to be. So the education is there. So let's just think a bit here. Let's set the stage from the standpoint of what it is that you might want to do and why are most Americans not in the position that they want to be in. Well, what happens is we find that statistically, I think it's the Department of Commerce, the average person has 3 or 4 careers or 3 or 4 job paths during their life. That's what the average person does. Now, I know there are a lot of people who go to school and they graduate and they begin working in a machine shop, or they become a doctor or a dentist or whatever, and they do these particular things until they decide to retire. But also there's a large faction of people who, when they get out of school, they say to themselves, when they graduate from high school or whatever, they say, you know, I'd really like to do this. So they go to school and they get their education, and then they get out in the working field and they start doing whatever it is that they really thought that they really liked doing. And after a few years, they say to themselves, you know, I'm one of those TGIF people. I'm glad it's Friday and I'm really not looking forward to Monday. I'm looking forward to not working. So there is a resolution for that. You will find a link which will take you to, you have your choice of 2 or 3 different aptitude tests that you can take. And I think there's a nominal fee, or some of them are free. Once you take an aptitude test, then you will see what the test says that you're best suited for. And that may help you to decide what it is that you really love to do and want to do and can make a living at. And then again, it may not. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's part of acquiring knowledge. And remember, knowledge is power. Without knowledge, where will we be? We will be nowhere. So, unless we're content with doing a job where we go to work and we shut our mind off and we do it for 8 or 9 or 6 or 7 hours, whatever it happens to be, and that's it. So, acquiring the knowledge of really getting to know yourself becomes very helpful, because all of a sudden you realize, well, wait a minute now, I can actually do what I really love doing. Who knows what it might be? It might be that you want to be a landscaper, a landscape designer. That's different from being a landscaper. Or you might want to become a plant specialist, or you might want to become the best person at interior design or decorating, or you might even want to become a painter. I know some people I met down in Palm Beach, Florida, who are in the painting business. They do painting and wallpaper and that type of thing, and they do it for very high-end people in Palm Beach County, and they do very, very well at it, and they do incredible work. So who knows? But there is a way to find out what it is. And just remember, acquiring that knowledge will give you tremendous power, and that's what I'm hoping that I can get you to. And I'll give you an example of myself. Right out of school, I was able to get a job with a television station. It was AM, FM, and TV. And very shortly after I began working there, I got a weather show. Back then, you didn't need to have the credentials of a meteorologist to have a weather program or be on the weather. And this is an unusual program in that it stood alone. Typically, back then, weather was always part of a news block or part of a news program. So I had a weather program, and I also wrote and produced and performed in a number of other programs, children's programs and so on over the years, and really found it very interesting. And then moved to another city simply to improve my career, and worked in that city in television at a UHF station back in the old days when no one could get UHF signals. Kind of interesting. So that station, I could see the writing on the wall that that station was going to go out of business. And so I looked for something to do and met some people who actually had something to do with the television station. And they were manufacturers of recreational vehicles. So I went to work for them, and what I did for them is I put together a whole marketing program, marketing and advertising and coordination program for them. And how did I acquire the knowledge? It was easy. There was plenty of knowledge out there to acquire, just to ask people and visit with people and so forth. The point is that my quest in life had always been for knowledge. So as my career went along, the next thing I decided to be an insurance agent, because I thought that was the seat of all financial knowledge. It wasn't, but it was a source for me to get a great deal of knowledge about people. The next thing that happened, I became a private financial advisor, which I really, truly enjoyed tremendously. And I did that for quite a long time. And in that process, I actually returned to broadcasting. I was one of the first people in the country to have an actual radio program that was all about money and investing and so forth. It was in university, it was in Miami, Florida, and it was from 4 to 7 in the afternoon on a 50,000 watt station, and I did it for about 2.5 years. It was a program called All Things Financial, and I really enjoyed that. And of course, as I went along in that career, in that financial world, I kept taking courses and getting more and more knowledge, and learned a great deal about people. And it depends upon what you like, of course. If you like people, then, well, you're going to seek a career where you're involved with people. But the gist of this particular segment of The Principal Truth is knowledge, acquiring knowledge, and then turning that knowledge into personal capital. That's what the whole topic is here today. So when you need to learn how or what it is that you want to do, or you've learned what it is that you want to do, well, you can get the education, as I mentioned earlier, post-secondary education. Also, you may want to take an aptitude test and get that whole process done. Aptitude tests are designed, hopefully, to help you find out what it is that you are most suited for as far as an occupation or a field of endeavor. And you can go on to the Principal Truth website and you'll find several different aptitude tests that you can take if you wish. And I believe they're free. There might be one that has a small fee, but they'll be well worth the time and the effort because it'll give you a focus. Now, once you've gotten that focus, now comes the fun part. Now comes the fun part of the whole thing, because you can then begin moving forward to acquire the knowledge and the expertise to do what it is that you love. Well, acquiring the knowledge, that's where post-secondary education comes in. And if you will take the time to look on the Principal Truth website, you will find a number of sources for the knowledge and the education that you need to become whatever it is that you've chosen that you wish to be. From being a sous chef, to being a designer, to being whatever it happens to be. Whether it's an astronaut doesn't make any difference. But I want to make it very clear that all of the different post-secondary education sources that are listed here on the Principal Truth website have all been checked out, and we know that they're all of very high quality and will provide you with the type of education that they claim that they will provide you. Of course, you have to put the money, the time, the expertise, and the elbow grease into getting that knowledge. But that's where you add to your human capital. So remember that acquiring knowledge, what does it do? It adds to your personal human capital, to your personal value, to yourself and your family from the standpoint of your ability to produce an income. So acquiring knowledge adds to your human capital, which allows you to do work that you truly love while providing for your family and yourself and contributing to society.